Hi everyone, we're back and I'm here with Seth Lawrence, Dr. Seth Lawrence. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you
Good.
for having me.
I appreciate you
see
coming
you.
on. It's great to see you.
Yeah, man.
I came in today, like I said, I think I've already told him this, but I came in like thinking, I'm going to leave today being motivated. I'm going to go work out tomorrow. I'm going to have so much energy. I know that's how I'm going to feel, but I hope everyone else feels that after watching today and hearing all the things that you can do for yourself to better yourself. And so I guess, I know a lot about you, but tell everyone else, kind of what got you started on this journey. I mean, I know when we were in college together, you were doing kinesiology, and you were always kind of passionate about the body and how it works and all that kind of stuff, but what kind of led you into what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think just honestly, at the end of it all, it's trying to give back as much as I can, and that sounds a little bit cheesy, but when I was in high school, I was a high school college athlete, and I knew that I didn't want to be behind a desk. I knew I wanted to work with people and work with the body. I knew my athletic career was going to end to some extent at some point, so you got to kind of think past that. And I'm related to my father, so when he would enter the room, like the lights would get brighter, right? Like people just gravitated towards this man. So I have a little bit of that. And so I know what I know about the human body, and I've observed patients of mine and athletes of mine, and just kind of learned and gradually just figured things out. Like people don't know what they don't know, and some of the stuff is really simple. And if you just can illuminate some kind of easy things to people that they can change in their life or do better at or pay attention to, then it can change their life. And I tell my family all the time, and I really want to try to give back. I think sometimes we're missing that in this world right now. So I'm not reinventing the wheel, I'm just saying the same thing that people have been saying for, since we were in high school. I think that was after the wheel and before fire. Right? Like, it was a while ago. But really, I'm just passionate about working with people, and like I said, to spread my message. So.
Okay. So after college, what did you decide to do after college?
After college, I took some time off. Said father got a little bit ill, so we had some bumpy roads back then. But I always had it in my head to get to grad school. If I can just get to grad school, that kind of kept me grounded through all of the turmoil. And as well as my mom, right? Just, get it, just do it, just baby steps. And, small steps will eventually lead to completing the greatest of journeys, right? Is one of my favorite quotes. And so just kept on grinding. And, finally got into grad school and graduated with a doctorate of physical therapy. And, got out and started treating people and just kind of grew from there. A buddy of ours had a CrossFit gym, and initially I was like, I don't need CrossFit. I know how to work out. I know how to do this. But pride bringeth the fall, and so you try new things and you learn new things. And so I got into that and opened up a CrossFit gym, and was looking to try and open up a physical therapy clinic out of a wellness facility, i.e. the CrossFit and then have physical therapy, as opposed to the other way around. There's just a lot of red tape around insurance and things like that I've never wanted to dive into. People do, and they're absolutely successful. But opened up the CrossFit gym, learned a lot again about just groups of people and motivating people and seeing people achieve things that they never thought they could anymore, or never thought they could. So from there, it wasn't going to retire me off a cliff in Costa Rica. So we moved away from the box. So just started, working on the clinic, and then I noticed that I was saying the same thing to people over and over again, right? You got to sit up straight, you got to stretch, you got to do the things that you don't want to do in life, and they will help you, the simple things. So honestly, selfishly, I started writing things down and be like, here's what to expect when you come see me. Like, be expecting of this, and so
I'm going to push you, I'm going to motivate you, I'm going to do things. And if you don't do it, it's kind of like, what are you gaining from coming? You're almost wasting your time and their own time.
That's exactly right. And it was baffling how many people wouldn't do their homework, like their home exercise program. It's like going to a doctor and getting medication to make you better and then not taking it, Yeah. So, we'd give them things to do, and then they wouldn't come in. And at first I was like, why would you not do this? But then you understand that it takes time to get to the clinic. It takes time to do the exercises. It takes time to drive back home. So there's other things in our lives that we have to deal with. We just have to see the value in doing and working on ourselves so that we can be more efficient with the time that we have, right? When we're working with other people or with our family or at our jobs. So many people come into the clinics like, well, I got a high pain tolerance. And I'm like, not me. Like, if I'm in pain, then everybody's hearing about it, right? My wife is sick of me saying it, but it's hard to be in pain, right? So it takes more energy. So if you can do some things early to get yourself out of pain or get yourself more functional, then the rest of your life is going to be better, right? And that's what they didn't see. They didn't see the value.
Well, I think sometimes you're so used to being in pain. Like, I used to have neck and back problems and all that. I'm so used to being in pain that I didn't even realize that I was in pain until I like go get a massage or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like Gumby afterwards. I'm like, I didn't even know how, I'm so used to having these softballs in my shoulders, that just live there, that it just doesn't, when someone massages me or something, they're like, oh my God, you're hard as a rock. I was like, I guess I'm just so used to being life tensed and stressed, and having so much going on that it doesn't even affect me. Because, you're just go about life. And I think a lot of us actually, spend our days so busy with so many things that, I tell people, like, if I have 30, they're like, oh, when do you have time? It's like, well, I have to make time to have time, So it's like even 30 minutes. Sometimes it's like, okay, I will call you when I'm in the car on the way to this. I know I have a 20-minute drive, and that's when I'll have the time to talk to someone or to do something.
That's right. Yeah. And you're right on a lot of different accounts, right? You have to make time for the things that are important to you. And we just don't realize, right? We make time to brush our teeth, spend with our family, take showers, hopefully, we do these things.
Hopefully.
That are just kind of ingrained in us, but that's taking care of ourselves. And if we understand the value of literally doing a little bit extra to take care of ourselves, then, and we see the importance of it, then we do make time for it. Because we're not gonna find time, right? I'll do this stuff later on. Or I'll do it later on. Or I'll get to it later. And then 6 weeks have gone by, I'm still limping around, you still have softballs in your shoulders. So it was that type of thing. So I started writing this stuff down. It's like, this is what you should expect. This is the time. And then it turned into a little ebook, right? And then it turned into a little book, right? And so, then now we wrote a book, and it's just kind of part of the message.
And the book is right here, Your Life Prescribed.
Yeah.
So it's all the notes and all the journey that you had and everything that's happened to you that's led you to this place now.
Yeah. There's little anecdotes in there about how I grew up and why I'm so annoyingly positive. Like, I totally am annoyingly positive. I get it.
It's not annoying at all. I came in thinking I'm going to leave today in such a good mood. I know whenever I spend time with you that I always leave, very positive and very happy. Yeah. So, that can't be annoying, in the sense of being, I guess, if you had to live with you, maybe, and be like, okay, shut up, Saz. But, but it also probably keeps her, grounded in some senses too, when life is, down and out, and all you have to do is have a little positivity in your life.
That's right.
And you can turn it around. Even me, like, say in any business, right, when you have a lull or you're slow in business or something like that, it just takes like, oh, it'll come, and the next day the phone rings, and it's, it's just incredible how your mind can control really what happens in your life.
Yeah.
The people that are, down on themselves all the time, it's really hard for people to listen to you or to be motivated by you or to do anything if you're just kind of this negative Nelly type person, But if you're a positive person and you keep trying, then hopefully things will work out and how things will guide you into other journeys and other adventures. And
yeah.
God knows you've gone through a lot, but you've also come out of it still positive, I was a big fan of your dad's, I obviously knew him, and he was positive, and that's probably where you get a lot of your energy, is from your dad. And your mom's also a very positive person that, motivates you, and so you're kind of I think everyone's kind of a product of their parents to some extent, right? And if you can learn from it and grow from it and take the positive and the negative, no one's perfect in this world, that you can grow from those things and do it. But you have to actually put the work in too.
That's right, yeah. And you have to sit back and kind of observe what's happening to you, right? Like, why am I here? Okay, well, is it all my fault? Am I this terrible person? No, there's extenuating factors. And then just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, right? You just have to keep grinding. And I think in this world right now, it's all about quick, right? Like, eventually, I'm gonna have my package before I press the button on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, I'm upset that I don't already have my package. But it's such a fast-paced world that, you know, we lose the grind. We lose the understanding that it's one small step at a time, and then you'll get there. Whether it's, you know, you're in a dark place. Another good quote that I heard is like, rock bottom is a great place to build a foundation. You know, like if you're in a bad place, then like all there is to go up, right? There's nowhere else to go. And then, you know, momentum is a thing. Once you get one thing going, you get the next thing going. So, yeah, I mean, just got to learn from your life, right? Yeah. Metacognition, I guess.
I mean, even going back to, you know, the CrossFit gym and the athletes you met, and, you know, these people, some of them are super athletes, right? And then you had the average Joes, right? Mm-hmm. That, you know, the people that hadn't picked up a weight or done anything that coming in. But it was the camaraderie, I think, too, that CrossFit, you know, develops in people. And certain boxes have it and certain boxes don't have it, you know. And I think you definitely, because of who you are, brought that to the box, where it was a sense of community, a sense of family, you know, where it didn't matter if the person was a super athlete or not, that they still worked out together, they still did all the same things, and
That's right.
and melded at each other's levels. What do you think that did for you?
I think it made me a better leader by understanding that sometimes the best leaders lead from behind, you know? You try to build a community like that, right? So after somebody's done working out, don't just go to the car, you know, lead somebody over there, good job, keep them going. And then eventually those people are leading other people. Right? And then you're just kind of sitting back. Like, I didn't have to be in the front all the time, even though I'm loud and in the front all the time. But it taught me about like how you can follow people to be leaders, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
Lead by example, but then let them loose, kind of, to do it on their own.
Yeah, and then they were doing it on their own, and that's really the best feeling. And I like the term reciprocity of gratitude. It's like, you know, you let somebody help you, and then they're going to let somebody help them, and then they're going to help somebody else, right? And just what goes around comes around, basically. So that's kind of a big thing that I learned with that whole experience, you know.
Yeah, because I know, I mean, my husband, when he worked out with you at CrossFit, he carries that now into all the other workouts that he does. You know, it's kind of interesting. He's like, yeah, I cheer people on, and you know, he kind of has carried that through to other types of workouts that he's done that are group kind of environments. You know, they're one-to-one environments. You're working out by yourself, but you're also in a big group, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
awesome.
It's interesting how you can carry that through, and just that positivity, probably take that home, you know, and that fuels your energy when you're working out or doing anything else. I mean, there's nothing, I know it's been a while, and I'm definitely going to get back to working out and all that good stuff. But I know when I am working out, it's just a natural endorphins, right, that fuel you to feel better the rest of the day.
That's right.
But I've never been a morning workout person.
It's tough.
Ever. I mean, I don't know that I ever will be, you know. I don't, like, I'll leave here in the evening and go work out at home, you know, at 5, 6 o'clock. Of course, but then it restarts my energy level, you know. And
you can't go to sleep till midnight.
Which I don't normally go to sleep till midnight. That's kind of my sleeping habits. I don't know if it's culturally that I grew up, you know, that's kind of my parents, everyone, we've always been like kind of late night family.
Night owls.
You remember that from back in the day. We have some stories, but, you know, my parents were always up waiting for me when I came home, when we would do things in high school or wherever else, you know, they would always be up waiting for me.
Yeah. So, that's good. I think a lot of times, and it's funny you say that, because this morning we have this new baby, you know, 7-month-old, and it's been tough for me to find time to work out, right? And this morning, last night I set my clothes out, I set the shoes down, everything, right, to get ready, to make it easy on myself, right? That's my nighttime routine, to make it easy on myself to wake up, right? And this morning I hit snooze. Once again, hit snooze. It's hard. It's hard. People feel bad when they talk to me about like, oh, well, I'm gonna get starting to work out, you know, but it's your world, you know, like you recognize what's good for you. If working out at night is good for you, then work out at night. But, you know, I'm no pillar of health, right? I just know, and I try hard. If I don't do something, then I'm like, okay, well, why didn't I do it, right?
Yeah.
You kind of think about it. It's like, okay, well, what's the best time for me? Clearly, the morning time isn't good for either of us.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I've
when
heard
can I
that
get it
snooze,
in?
you know, like I sometimes have learned like, okay, if I know I can snooze 3 times, then just go ahead and give myself that extra 30 minutes of sleep, because the snooze the 3 times just keeps waking you up, waking you up, waking you up. So you're really not going back to sleep. So just give yourself the extra 30 minutes and try to just wake up then, you know, as opposed to hitting snooze 3 times.
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't know that it really works, but I have tried it and it has been better just because you're actually getting the extra time to just sleep in that deep sleep.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I wake up and go back to sleep, wake up and go back to sleep, that I'm more tired, you know, than I am if I just slept the 30 minutes.
Yeah, just
you know?
hibernate until you're gonna get up. Yeah,
it's
I mean, you're deciding to not get up before you go to sleep, so you don't have the snooze button.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna snooze for a minute on this, and we're gonna go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back in a few minutes.